Good Friday, everyone. I'm Cyrus Webb, and welcome to Conversation Dirty News. Glad you all could be with us. Well, we made it to the end of another week because you have your news headlines coming up on this Friday. I have a message from my book, Words That I Choose to Live By. And in today's Music and News, I spoke with Tom Liberatore, the director of the Office of Enforcement and Compliance with the U.S. Department of Transportation, about some common moving scams you don't want to miss. You'll definitely enjoy that segment. Enjoy our program. For Conversation Dirty News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Friday headlines. In national news, Fox News pulls down series as Hunter Biden threatens lawsuit, says NPR. Fox News has pulled down a 6-part series in which it staged a mock trial of hypothetical criminal charges against Hunter Biden after the president's son threatened to sue the network. The series, which was first posted on the cable network's right-wing streaming service back in October 2022, was removed only a day after Biden's legal team publicly made its threat. Biden said the network defamed him, among other accusations. We are reviewing the concerns that have just been raised and, out of abundance of caution in the interim, have taken it down, Fox News Media said in acknowledging the decision Tuesday afternoon. The media giant's move came just hours after it released a statement denouncing Biden's accusation, describing its coverage of him as within its constitutional rights. Fox News paid $788 million a year ago to settle a mammoth defamation lawsuit stemming from its amplification of false claims that Dominion Voting Systems, an election tech company, had helped rig the 2020 election in favor of President Biden. It is facing a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit from a second voting tech company, though the network says it expects to prevail. In 2020, Fox paid millions to the parents of Seth Rich, a slain Democratic Party staffer. The network falsely had claimed Rich leaked thousands of emails from party leaders during the 2016 election cycle. Formal inquiries, including the Republican-led Senate Intelligence Committee and the Mueller report, found the hack was committed by people acting on behalf of the Russian government. Hunter Biden does face federal charges over tax and gun violations. He has pleaded not guilty to both, with trials expected to begin this summer. On Monday of this week, his legal team revealed it had been privately pressuring Fox to retract stories and segments amplifying unsubstantiated claims that Biden helped funnel millions of dollars in bribes to the president from Ukrainian interests. Those allegations were featured hundreds of times by Fox stars, according to figures from the liberal watchdog group Media Matters that were cited by Biden's attorneys. In more national news, Hakeem Jeffries isn't speaker yet, but the Democrat may be the most powerful person in Congress, says the Associated Press. Without wielding the gavel or holding a formal job laid out in the Constitution, Representative Hakeem Jeffries might very well be the most powerful person in Congress right now, according to the AP. The minority leader of the House Democrats, it was Jeffries who provided the votes needed to keep the government running, despite opposition from House Republicans to prevent a federal shutdown. Jeffries, who made sure Democrats delivered the tally to send $95 billion in aid to Ukraine and other allies, and Jeffrey, who, with the full force of House Democratic leadership behind him, decided this week his party would help Speaker Mike Johnson stay on the job rather than be ousted by far-right Republicans led by Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. How powerful is Jeffries right now? Says Jeffrey Jenkins, a public policy professor at the University of Southern California who has written extensively about Congress. That's significant power, he says. The decision by Jeffries and the House Democratic leadership team to lend their votes to stop Johnson's ouster provides a powerful inflection point in what has been a long political season of dysfunction, stalemate, and chaos in Congress. In more national news, Jill Biden is hosting a White House state dinner to honor America's 2024 Teachers of the Year, says the Associated Press. First Lady Jill Biden was opening the White House on Thursday to more than 50 of America's best educators, hosting the 2024 National and State Teachers of the Year at a fancy dinner to recognize them for their commitment to students and excellence in the classroom. The teachers typically attend a White House ceremony every year after their selection by an organization that represents elementary and secondary school educators. They did not visit during the coronavirus pandemic, but Jill Biden, who teaches English and writing at Northern Virginia Community College, was putting a new twist on the annual event by hosting them on Thursday for a teacher state dinner instead. She announced the change during a nationally televised appearance in April with Missy Testerman, the 2024 National Teacher of the Year. Testerman is a teacher at Rogersville City School in Rogersville, Tennessee. In entertainment news, the Associated Press says it's almost Met Gala time to get up. True Love's Kiss or an invite to the Met Gala, Those in the rare-filled ranks of the international celebrity and Anna Wintour's good graces need not choose. Stars of film, fashion, music, sports, politics, and social media will ascend the steps of the Metropolitan Museum of Art on the first Monday in May, on May 6th, that is, to sip cocktails, have dinner, and sample the new exhibit, Sleeping Beauties, Reawakening Fashion. And finally, in business news, number of Americans applying for jobless claims remains historically low, says the Associated Press. The number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits was unchanged last week and remains historically low as the labor market continues to show resiliency in the face of high interest rates and elevated inflation. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. Enjoy. Good Friday, everyone. I'm Cyrus Webb, and welcome to Words I Choose to Live By. Peace can be yours, but it won't hunt you down. You have to pursue it with everything you have. Once you have it, vow to hold on to it. It will help you see your situation in a completely new light. Have a great Friday and enjoy your weekend. We are part of my conversation coming up with Tom Liberatore in today's News You Can Use. Stay with us. You're listening to Conversation Daily News. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your News You Can Use. Tom Liberatore, the Director of the Office of Enforcement and Compliance with the U.S. Department of Transportation, join me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about steps they're taking to help with relocation scams. Here's a bit of our conversation. Tom, great information for our audience. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Cyrus. I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, moving is something, as I mentioned, that can be stressful enough, but there are so many things to look out for, including these scams that we're addressing. So what are some of the most common moving scams, Tom?
Oh, that's a great question, Cyrus. So we frequently get complaints. They come in through a national consumer complaint database, which can be found on protectyourmove.gov, which is our website. Usually fall into one of three categories. What's called hostage loads, which is where people will be quoted one price for the delivery of their household goods, and then after their items are picked up, and then in the process of being delivered to the new location, they're informed that there's extra fees, and not reasonable extra fees. What we're talking about really are sometimes several $1,000s to, in some instances, doubling the price while the goods are in transit, and the refusal to deliver items until that additional fee is paid. That's what we call, as I said, hostage loads. Then there's also instances where there's concerns about misrepresentation of an entity, and then also, lost items, damaged items, unreasonable delays in receiving shipments. They all are kind of the most common complaints that we receive through our national consumer complaint database.
And again, these are things our audience can definitely relate to. So, when it comes to this, we all try to protect ourselves, Tom, but what are the warning signs that we should be on the lookout for when hiring movers?
That's a very valuable thing, and as you indicated, FMCSA primarily has been a safety organization and still is a safety organization. Our efforts in terms of enforcing and helping consumer protection has really picked up over the past year.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversations Daily News. I'll be back on Mondays, more news, a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By, and of course your entertainment spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's go make today amazing. Take care.